So how to overcome fear? Overcome fear, the most important thing is that you have to identify yourself with something that can never be destroyed. Because fear and existence, they are related. Every time you feel that existence is going away, you're scared. Now, if you identify yourself with that state of existence that can never be taken away from you, you will never be scared. And this is possible only if you identify yourself fully with God. If you have God realization, or with Atman, with soul, you have self-realization, then you are no more scared of death. Like Gita talks about, once a person has known his self, he is no more scared of death. No question of death. Death doesn't matter with him. He has gone beyond it. Because he knows that he is not this body. And he is not even identified with his body. And he is not identified with anyone else. Because he knows that Atman alone is the truth. He is not going to lose. But see, not everybody can have this realization. There might be one Jesus. There might be one Buddha who had that state of realization where nothing mattered with them. But humanity as such, and we are not talking about animals and lower animals, we are talking about human beings. Although our scriptures say that try to know that infinite, and once you know the infinite, you become infinite, and once you become infinite, nothing can destroy you. And since nothing can destroy you, you can never be scared. But that's not possible. Then second possibility, the second way out is to be strong. If you are strong, then you will not be scared. But here we have already discussed how, because you are weak, that is why that fear element comes. Now this strength, the strength that we are discussing, lies in every person, untapped. In every person, there is no one. Even a child has it, an old person has it, a soldier, everyone has it. And this untapped resource of strength, it is self-respect. True self-respect, when we are talking about self-respect, me, my existence, it is born of, as we said, it's an untapped resource. It is born of some ideal in which you have the fullest conviction and that which you practice for a long time. There has to be some ideal. And you have full conviction in that. And you have practiced it. So practice and conviction, they go hand in hand. As you practice, your conviction grows. As your conviction grows, your practice increases. To give you an example, a mom, particularly in joint family, she used to bear with everything. Lot of workload, everything. And she would go on working silently. But the moment you touch her son, she will become a tigress. You can't. And not only in the family, even outside. Like even supposing there are robbers, there are kidnappers. If a mom feels that her child is under threat, she forgets her own existence. She forgets her own life and she pounces to save her child. You know, the whole world is full of such examples. Similarly, we know of the soldiers. When the soldiers are in the fight, you go for any country, and trained soldier of any good country, any noble country, during say for example, Second World War, Germans were captured and Allied soldiers were also captured. And when they were tortured to reveal certain secrets, they would say no. Even if they were tortured or killed, they won't reveal the secrets. Where from comes this secret? It comes from the conviction that I am fighting for my country. That self-respect, I will not compromise with my self-respect. I'm using the word self-respect. You might use some other word. When we had Socrates, and Socrates was charged with treason, said that he is misleading the youth of Greek. So he was condemned to death. He had to drink poison. And Plato was a very resourceful person, made a plan for escape. And Socrates said, no, I am not going to do it. I have lived with this ideal. I cannot let go of that ideal. Because if he compromises with that ideal, he will have lost his self-respect forever. His own respect for himself would go away forever. Or Gandhiji, when he said that he is going to follow non-violence, same thing. When he was being charged by the British police and British administration, he didn't even raise his hands. So there is kind of self-respect. What? It is that untapped resource. That strength is within each one of us. But not in the form of arrogance, not in the form of anger, but in the form of sense of self-respect, identity. Once you identify yourself with some values, with some ideal, and you say that this is my existence, suddenly you will see a surge in strength, and then you can overcome. So, if you really want to overcome fear, there are two ways. One is become one with the infinite, that is spiritual knowledge, or have conviction in yourself, in the value system that you practice, that this is my identity. And when there is an aggression, like in earlier times, the Brahmins, they were not going to make any compromise with their value system, whether it would be greed or fear. If they were scared that you get converted to this religion, otherwise we are going to put you to death. So there are stories about Alexander and all. And when Alexander came, he wanted to take some Brahmin away, and he refused. He said, look, I don't care for you. Even if you kill me, my soul will go to God. It will never be under your control. This conviction comes from that sense of self-respect. You can call it by some other name, it does not matter. I call it sense of self-respect. I am this. I am not going to compromise with this. We are talking about that sense of value. I am this. My personality stems from this. I am known in this society by this. Let's take the case of a doctor. There's a medical practitioner and someone comes. A doctor has to remind herself or himself, I am a doctor. This is my identity. Because this is my identity, it is my self. And I must have respect for myself. And I'll never make compromise with my self-respect. Now, ultimately, if you don't have either of the two, like identifying with the infinite or having the self-respect born of some ideal, there is a third method which sometimes works and at times it doesn't work. It is about praying. Once you pray to any being in whom you have confidence and you have firm faith that that being is the epitome of strength. For example, in North India, many people worship Hanuman, Mahavir Hanuman, for that sense of strength. Jai Hanuman, Gyan Gun Sagar, like that. There are people who worship Mother Durga for that strength. Now, if you keep on reciting those mantras, slowly that strength comes within you. So, once you get into that prayer mode, fear goes away. In general, if you have been practicing prayers for a very long time, strength develops. Even if when you are in crisis, if you can pray, strength comes. That strength never comes from outside. It always comes from within. We just talked about the untapped resource that you have in the form of self-respect. When you pray, the same thing happens. The self-respect that I am a devotee of the Lord and Lord is going to save me. And suddenly there is onrush of strength. Like you might have seen a kid when scared or threatened by elders, the baby runs to his mom. And once in the lap of mom, he is not scared of anyone. So it's something like that. So the bottom line is, you need to have an ideal, you need to have realization, and if you don't have any one of these, you need to pray so that your inner strength builds up. Unless your inner strength builds up, the only way to overcome fear is to have strength. You must not feel that your existence is in danger. And if you feel that your existence is in danger, then you need to have some ideal with which you can identify. And if nothing works, then you can pray. That's all about fear.